How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over Davinci Resolve again, and this time I'm going to show you how I do the zoom effect. I've had several people ask how I get a picture or a video to zoom into one certain section, and I'm going to show you two ways. One is already out there on YouTube everywhere, and the other one is just the way that I do it that works best for me. So we're going to go up to File, and we're going to go to Import Media. Brings open my pictures cache, and I'm just going to use a picture for this because it's easier to work with for demonstration purposes, but you can use this on video or you can use it on photos or video, either or. So once we get our picture in, we're going to click it, hold it, and drag it down to the timeline and let it go. And right now you can see the photo is going to be up for 5 seconds. I want it to be up a little longer than that. Let's make it 10 seconds. You can see how far you're in it. So it's going to be 10.01 seconds. Good enough. And here's what it looks like. Just a solid picture, right? And there's 8, 9, and 10. Okay? Now, let's move it back to the beginning. You can do that by clicking on the timeline or hitting your up arrow one time, and it brings it back to the beginning of that clip. So I'm going to let you look at the picture for, this is what you need to figure out. How long do you want the picture to stay like this, and then when do you want it to zoom, okay? I'm going to go in about 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, or 4. And I'm going to use my left arrow buttons to move it back to exactly 3. Okay. Now if you'll click on this and highlight it, it brings up your inspector panel over here on the right. Everything you can do to it, right? Everything you can do. Now, if I go down to the third, let's see, 1, 2, 3, the fourth panel, you see says dynamic zoom. You can click on that, highlight it, and then it'll bring up the photo, right? Then you tell it whether you want it to be linear. In other words, do you want the whole picture to zoom? Do you want to ease in? Do you want to ease out? And you can even make it go in and out. Well, we want to go in from right here. So click on that. Okay. And let's replay it and see how it looks. And so it's supposed to be zooming in, but actually, easing in, but that's actually easing out. So it's backwards of what it says it is. So let's change it over. Click on the little down arrow again. We're going to ease out. And let's see how that does. Hit play. See, it does the same thing. Makes absolutely no sense to me how they do it. But you see, if I hit swap, well, now it's easing in. But it's just a really slow process. It's nice and smooth, but it doesn't go in as far as I want it to. When it's done, I want to be basically on this engine because that's what I want to highlight in this shot. So we're going to go back over and disengage it by clicking on the highlighter again. Okay, go all the way back up to the top. Now again, we need to figure out where we want to start. I want it to be around 3 seconds. And that gives me a total of 7 seconds for it to zoom. Okay? So what I'm going to do, if you look up here where it says transform, it's got zoom, position. I can even rotate the picture. I can change the angle of the pitch, the angle of the yaw, and I can even flip the picture. Okay? Well, what we're going to be dealing with is zoom and position. The picture is going to stay the way you want it until you hit the dots over beside each item, okay? So I'm going to highlight zoom and position. Now you see there's 2 red dots beside it. And anything I do from this time point in the timeline to the end is going to correspond with what I do over here, okay? So let's let it play to the end. You can click on the timeline and everything and get it over there, but I have found that this is more accurate. Once it gets to the end, just back it up 1, 2, 3 spots. Okay, go up again and click zoom and position. This is telling the computer that from the first one to where we are now, we want these changes to take effect. Okay, so the first one I want to do is, I know I want to zoom in on that engine. So all you do is you take your mouse pointer, and if you know the amount, you can just highlight it and type it in. But I don't know the amount. So if you put your cursor in there, highlight it, you see you get a left and right arrow. Click in the box and hold and drag it one way, or you can see it makes it go zoom out. Well, if you click it and drag it to the right, you can see that it makes it zoom in. However far you want it to. Get your zoom set first. And that's about how close I want. But now you see that the picture is off. I want this to be in the center of the picture. That's where the position comes in. If you click on the first box, that tells it to go left or right depending on which way you drag your mouse, right? Just click and hold. We want it to be in the middle, like such. Okay? Then you let go of that. Come over to the next one, the y-axis, which will be up and down. X-axis is left and right, y-axis is up and down. So we're going to click in the box again for position Y and drag it, and that brings it down. Or you can make it go up, depending on what you're trying to get in the picture. If you want that in the photo, that's fine. But what I want, like I told you at the beginning of this video, is I want the engine to be the center of attention in this one. Okay, right there. And then you just let off. Now we can go back, and at the beginning you can see the photo stays like that. I hit play, which is spacebar, and at 3 seconds it'll start zooming in, and it'll continue to zoom all the way to the end. And that's how I do this. I mean, that's just the way I do it. I have found that this way works better. It's more accurate, and I can do so much more with it. Like I said, I can do pitch, I can do yaw, whatever I want to do. And I'll explain all that to you in another video later on down the line. You know, I'll get to all these things eventually if y'all are interested in it. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, let's play it again. When counter gets to 3, it'll start zooming, and it'll stop at your finished product. And then all you got to do is add your music to it, if that's what you want, or if you're happy with the way it is there, you know, go for it by all means. But let me throw some music in there. Let's see, what do I want to use? Let's just pick a rock one just for the video. I need to get rid of that right there, delete it. And here's a quick way to move items. If you're at the beginning of a video and you got something over here and you want it at the beginning, just highlight, click where you want that to go. In this case, it's the music. I want it to go to the beginning. So I click there, it highlights it. As you can tell, it's light gray. Hit delete on your keyboard and it moves it rather than trying to drag it. Back to the beginning of the timeline, and here's how it's going to look. And that's it. It's that simple. Then you go through the whole save progress. And just in case you haven't seen the videos before on how you save it, first we need to trim this music because I want it to stop at the end of the clip. Click on it to highlight it, hit delete on your keyboard, and it's gone. The way I choose to save it is I click anywhere off of the actual file, drag it to highlight it. Then you go down to deliver, down at the bottom of your screen, click on that. Now you see all these settings up here at the top left. These are preset settings, and I'm going to be using YouTube for this one. So you click on the down arrow, tell it that I want to do it in 1080p. I want to add it to the render queue. In other words, I want it to go ahead and render it. I tell it where I want to save it. In this instance, I'm going to save it to my video files. Click that, tell it OK. And then just to show you that this is how it works, I'll go ahead and run through the whole thing. You can see that it's saving it for YouTube. It's an untitled project because we did not name it. And when I click Start Render, it's going to have a green bar that goes across there that shows me the progress. And also it's going to pop up another one down here that tells me that it is rendering, how much time I got left. So let's go ahead and click Render. And as you can see down here on the bottom, it goes back to the beginning of the timeline and it starts rendering it. Up here in the top right, it tells me I got 20 seconds left and it shows rendering in progress. And there's what we just did. And then before you get out of this, always double check to make sure that your work is what you want. So I'm going to go into my video files up here. Right there will be it because I did not rename it. It's timeline 1. And just double click it and it'll play. But again, that's just the easiest, smoothest way that I have found to work for me. By all means, if there's anything that you would like to see done in DaVinci Resolve, any tips, any tricks, any ideas you have, questions you've got about it, don't be scared to ask. You know, all I can say is I don't know, and if I don't know, I'll try to find out. And with that said, you guys have a most wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for stopping by.